Welcome back to Design 911. We're actually in Design 911 HQ today because whilst, yes, it's a bit of a parts metropolis here, there's also a rather handy workshop on site. Plenty of goodies in here, starting with Polo Red Early 911. More on that another time, we are going to be driving it. Today's update though, is all about this. You may notice, wide arch, look at that. This is the legendary 930 Turbo, okay? It's a 1977 car. How do I know that? The chassis plate told me. What you may or may not be able to see, dare I open this door, its original colour of Minerva Blue. Beautiful turbo colour, isn't it? As you can see, this car has been stripped back to bare metal by the technicians at Design 911. It's having a restoration from the ground up in terms of paint. There'll be lovely Minerva Blue over all of this again in good time soon. However, the guys have taken it back to bare metal just to make sure that they're dealing with a straight car and a good car condition-wise from the off. Pleasingly, all of this looks to be a pretty straight car so far. The only issue really is rot. Again, it's to be expected. It's a 1977 car. That's where some parts come into play, obviously sourced from Design 911. If I just grab this out, I've got a panel from the front inner of the car, which is all going to be welded in, all in good time, of course. A little bit more welding going on in the front there. That really is, as bad as it gets for this, it's in pretty good shape. We're going to follow this car and just do a progress update every couple of weeks because it's a really cool car. We'll actually show you some of the original parts from the turbo that just are sitting around here. Obviously got the impact bumpers, front and rear. The iconic whale tail that goes on the turbo as well. All of these, incidentally, are going to need new rubbers as well. You can get all of them online at Design 911. Then, a nice little gem for you over the other side of the workshop. We all know I like a bit of Irish green. Even better when it's a long bonnet Porsche 911, such as this. This is a 1969 911T, one of the first years of the long wheelbase 911. Obviously that came into play in 68. How can you tell? Well, positioned in the torsion bar cover. So as I say, 911T means it's a flat six. You can also get the four banger, the 912s in Irish green as well. That's because Irish green is a real period colour of the end of the 60s and the start of the 70s as well, like this. As you can tell, this car needs a lot of parts, which is exactly where Design 911 come in. And we've got loads of parts. Rear light clusters ready to go on, even with the period correct chrome trim, as per the 69 cars. Now, all of the early cars, full of rubbers, all perishable. I mean, some of these cars are getting on for 50 years old now, aren't they? Case in point on those perishable rubbers, front and rear screens, that's got new rubbers going on. Obviously, that's the rear due to the heated element, as you can tell. Rubbers for the doors as well, obviously, drive side and passenger side. Rear quarter window, the glass is original, but again, the rubbers around the edge has all been replaced. So it's going to be nice and box fresh, ready for a few more years of motoring. As I said, there's an absolute truckload of parts on this car. We'll take a greater look in detail, starting at the front. Lower arms, all new, brake calipers, discs, all new. Original steering rack, master cylinder is new. They have just come into stock at Design 911 in the last week, so that's a brand new item that you'll be able to find online. Similarly, at the back as well, to be fair, the trailing arms are original. Lots of other new parts on here though. Again, brakes, flexies as well. It's all brand new in here. The flat six, that's out for a slight refurb. But as I say, it's absolutely crawling in parts that you can get online from Design 911. It's going to make for a pretty cool restoration process, isn't it? It's not too far from being complete, although it looks like this currently. Engine's got to go back in, paint's got to be flagged, interior's got to come back from the trimmers. When it's done, it's going to look awesome. Again, hopefully we'll get a drive, fingers crossed. But this is an example of the kind of things that you can do either at home or via your preferred specialist with parts from Design 911. As I say, it's a 69 car, it's one of the earliest 911s you can get. One of the very first long wheelbase cars, as the torsion bar cover tells you. As I say, even the early stuff, all parts catered for online at Design 911. Now we've got the car lowered, we can take a closer look at the body because again, a lot of these are replacement parts. The roof, for example, not that you can tell, hopefully, from where you are. This is a brand new roof, it's from Dansk. Again, we'll talk about more body panels. This lovely Dainty, isn't it? Rear quarter on the early 911s. This is a replacement from Dansk, outer and inner as well. All available online from Design 911. It all means when this car's complete, as I say, it really is going to be box fresh. It's going to be 50 years old, but at the same time, brand new. Looks good in Irish green, doesn't it? I will show you inside this car because there is more to look at than what you might think at first. We'll start with the dash. The dash is actually original with that beautiful basket weave interior insert on that dash with the original 911T badging in front of the passenger. The clocks, originally made by VDO, of course, they are original. However, as an example of the range of parts you can get online on Design 911's online catalogue is this headliner here, which is a pretty faithful recreation of the original. Looks really, really good, and the team here have put it all the way back down the C-pillars inside as well. As I say, this makes for a pretty good example of the range of parts all online at Design 911. Even if you are restoring some of the early Porsche stuff like this long bonnet 911, you can still get parts today of a good quality. It's all online on Design 911. In the meantime, just like the turbo over there, we'll keep an eye on this and provide an update on our social media channels as to how this car is getting along over the next few weeks.